of the committee for this opportunity. I look forward to your questions.
Thank you, Admiral. I have a series of questions required of all nominees. You may answer in unison. Have you adhered to applicable laws and regulations governing conflicts of interest?
Yes.
Have you assumed any duties or taken any actions that would appear to presume the outcome of the confirmation process?
No.
Exercising our legislative and oversight responsibilities makes it important that this committee, its subcommittees, and other appropriate committees of Congress receive testimony, briefings, reports, records, and other information from the executive branch on a timely basis. Do you agree, if confirmed, to appear and testify before this committee when requested?
Yes.
Do you agree, when asked before this committee, to give your personal views, even if your views differ from the administration?
Yes.
Do you agree to provide records, documents, and electronic communications in a timely manner when requested by this committee, its subcommittees, or other appropriate committees of Congress, and to consult with the requester regarding the basis for any good faith delay or denial in providing such records?
Yes.
Will you ensure that your staff complies with deadlines established by this committee for the production of reports, records, and other information, including timely responding to hearing questions for the record?
Yes.
Will you cooperate in providing witnesses and briefers in response to congressional requests?
Yes.
Will those witnesses and briefers be protected from reprisal for their testimony or briefings?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Admiral Holsey, could you give a brief outline of Southcom's current priorities and initiatives to counter the acute threat of Russia and China and other malign combinations? You might bring that microphone a little forward, sir.
Yes, Senator.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, for the current priorities are to strengthen partnerships, counter threats, and to build our team. So as we look at the Southcom AOR, strategic competition is real. As I mentioned, the PRC and Russia continue to try to undermine democracy and seek to gain power and influence in the region. When I look at the transnational criminal organizations, they continue to create chaos throughout the region. The transnational criminal organizations and the violent extremist organizations remain the primary threat to instability in the region. You also have a third of their funding that they take in each year is counter drug mission from drug ops or illicit drugs. So we're watching that very closely. Then finally, I'm concerned about the unrest in Haiti, Venezuela, and Cuba as it stands right now. That also contributes to the irregular migration we're seeing.
And in particular with respect to Russian and Chinese influence?
Yes, sir. So with regard to Russia, China first. China remains a long-term strategic competitor. They're a pacing challenge, and they're setting the theater. In my view, a PRC approach to the region is primarily driven by economics, which provides access, influence, and the opportunity to coerce our partner nations into unfavorable terms. In short, they see unchecked opportunity. I think they're playing the long view to using economic statecraft to advance their foreign policy goals. So that's the quick piece there from an economic side. But it's more than that. I think their efforts to develop and build dual-use sites and facilities in the region is concerning, from space and labor infrastructure to ports and 5G infrastructure as well. From a Russia standpoint, they're a more acute challenge. They seek to undermine democracy. They like to compete with the United States, I believe, on a global scale, and they look for low-cost opportunities to exert their influence and take advantage of the chaos in the region to build their partnerships and undermine ours. They generally look to, again, maintain partnerships. They seek to provide presence, and they try to shape their information space. So all that's very challenging. I think we get after that, sir, through our security cooperation, our partnerships, working the whole of government to make sure we can stay on the field and engage.
Thank you very much. General Nordhaus, you have been at every level of service in the National Guard and with the Air Force. Can you give us sort of your lessons learned from the numerous post-9/11 contingency operations that the Guard has been assigned, and they've carried them out magnificently. I was a few months ago in Kosovo with my National Guard as they are fulfilling their mission. So the lessons you think are most critical?
Thanks, Chairman. Appreciate the opportunity. The National Guard and our airmen and soldiers are completely integrated and interoperable with our active Army and Air Force. And that lesson, as we look into the future, needs to continue. As we look at priorities as I go forward, if confirmed, our people are the most critical. So recruiting and retention and making sure that we have those and continue that. The lessons learned there to make sure that we always have our force structure full, organized, trained, equipped to be that combat reserve to the Army and the Air Force. Then really readiness. I think readiness is something that we have to continue to build, and as we look at great power competition that we're in, we have to accelerate that and make sure that readiness for our airmen and our soldiers are ready to be deployable, interoperable, and sustainable. And then the partnerships that you mentioned. As we look at 106 state partners around the globe today, those partnerships are critical and are asymmetric advantage for our nation. And then modernization. We need to stay concurrent with modernization with our services so that we can always be ready and there for them.
Thank you very much, General. Thank you both for your service to the nation. Senator Wicker, please.